Hi guys, during PMQs on Wednesday, Rishi Sunak and his party must have whipped the MPs to lay insult after insult directed at the leader of the opposition, Keir Starmer. But I'm getting the feeling that the future Prime Minister is a bit more Teflon than the Tories would like. Here Sunak attempted for the umpteenth time to slander Starmer and lie about him, which you can do in the House of Commons. But the leader of the opposition had a wonderful response for the entire other side. Have a listen to this.
We're in the process of building 20,000 more prison places. That's what this government is delivering, because we're toughening up sentencing and putting more people behind bars and making sure that our most serious offenders spend longer there. But I love it when he talks about his record as a lefty lawyer, Mr. Speaker, because I was looking at this, because when he was there, he's quoting things, I read that people were really disappointed that his organisation let down victims. That wasn't even my assessment. That was his shadow Attorney General.
I want to get through these questions, so do my constituents. If there's any member whose constituents they aren't interested in, please leave the chamber. Keir Starmer.
Well, Mr. Speaker, when I was in office as Director of Public Prosecutions, those benches migrated supporters. In 2013, the Home Affairs Select Committee said, we would like to commend the work of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Keir Starmer. He's striven to improve the treatment of sexual assault. They go on to say...
Can we... Prime Minister's questions matter to our constituents. I wonder if I were you. It's not the day. I want to get through it because I'm trying to help the Prime Minister and the leader. You're not being helpful. We'll hear this question no matter how long it takes. Keir Starmer.
Mr. Speaker, this is 2030.
Order. Ms Stevenson, I've heard a few weeks. This is the last week. I suggest you quiet, or it's better you leave. Keir Starmer.
Mr. Speaker, this is the Home Affairs Select Committee in 2013. They go on to say the work I did should provide a model to other agencies, and when he leaves the CPS, he will be missed. Now, that report was presented to Parliament by the then Home Secretary, future Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Member for Maidenhead. And the government, those benches, noted and supported it. Now, it's obviously always a good look to have your work recognised, although they did lay it on a bit thick. So perhaps the Prime Minister will spend less time trying to rewrite history and more time sorting out the mess he's made of criminal justice. Because the crisis in criminal justice is just a snapshot of public services collapsing under his watch. People can see it wherever they look. Our roads, our trains, the NHS, the asylum system, policing, mental health provision. The Tories have broken them all they've got left is excuses and blame. Now, I know the Prime Minister would rather talk about a maths lesson than the state of the country, but perhaps he could solve this equation. Why, after 13 years of a Tory government, are patients waiting longer than ever, criminals walking free, growth non-existent, and why, everywhere you look, does nothing seem to work at all?
Prime Minister.
Wonderful, wonderful speech. It was a long speech, but that was wonderful to hear. And, as I said at the beginning, none of this is sticking. Starmer is getting attacked by media personalities, the Prime Minister, his MPs, Tory talking heads everywhere, but none of this is sticking. Because, as I said before, the election will be a referendum on the incumbent. And who's in charge at the moment? The Conservative Party. So it doesn't really matter what Rishi Sunak and the others say about Keir Starmer. It's not going to stick. Because people are going to come out and vote on what they see around them. Are they happy with the current situation? No, they're not. They're not happy with the Tories when it comes to crime. They're not happy with the Tories when it comes to the economy. They're not happy with the Tories when it comes to the NHS, education, everything. Everything they point to, they see as worse than when the Tories took over. So you can attack Keir Starmer on what he was when he was Director of Public Prosecutions. You can attack him when he was a member of the Labour Party and Shadow Brexit Secretary. You can attack him on everything, but it's not going to make any difference to ordinary voters. See, the people who get very angry about Keir Starmer are not really the people who are coming out to vote and vote in these marginal seats. There are people in the media, there are people on Twitter, there are people within the Conservative Party, and they think that they are writing a narrative that Starmer is not to be trusted, that Starmer is a problem, that Starmer needs to go, that Labour can't win, that Keir Starmer as Prime Minister would be a disaster. But that doesn't make any difference, because it will be a vote on whether the public are happy with the Conservative Party. And the polling consistently has shown that they're not. So, you know, these posters, these advertisement campaigns that the Labour Party have pushed recently are working because you're attacking the incumbent. You're saying, look at what Rishi Sunak stands for. The Tories will respond to that, but it's useless because the public are going to vote on the incumbent, are going to vote on the status quo. And they're sick of it. It's a pathetic response, but what can Rishi Sunak do? Because he has nothing left. He can't fight on the economy because it's a disaster. He can't fight on education, it's a disaster. He can't fight on the NHS because it's a disaster. So he's left with, I need to attack the leader of the opposition, his past. It's not going to work. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.